WCBI News at 6 starts now.
A teenager is charged with murder in connection with Tuesday's fatal shooting at Brooksville Garden Apartments in Starkville. Thank you for joining us tonight, everyone. Starkville police and the U.S. Marshals arrested 2 people in connection to that deadly shooting. Police have arrested 16-year-old Avante Jordan. He's charged with murder in this case. Investigators also arrested 30-year-old LaCorian Stewart and charged him with conspiracy to commit a crime. Jordan's bond is set at $1 million. Stewart's bond set at $100,000. Accuweather County Coroner Michael Hunt identified the victim in the shooting as 23-year-old LaTerrence McCarter. Police were called to the complex around 1:45 Tuesday evening. When the officers got there, they found McCarter dead. No other information about the circumstances surrounding the shooting have been released. The U.S. Marshal Task Force again assisted in those arrests. Well, 'tis the season for scammers to try new tricks to steal your money, from gas pump skimmers to fake phone calls. They're targeting you and your pocketbook. But for 2 sheriff's departments in our area, things got a little more personal. Our Cash Matlock joins us in the studio with more on what happened. Cash?
Well, Andrea, Chief Deputy Chad Garnett in Accuweather County says he knew something was off when he got a call from himself. Now, he says the caller claimed to be the Chief Deputy of Accuweather County, and he wanted Garnett to send him money. Well, now the department is sending out a warning to the public to not engage with the scammer.
Telephone scams, something that picks up every year around the holidays. And Accuweather County Sheriff Steve Gladney says his department has been hit hard this year.
We had one this week that they were using the Chief Deputy Chad Garnett's name that worked here at the Accuweather County Sheriff's Department and calling and saying that they'd missed jury duty and they needed to send money.
Gladney says the call didn't make sense.
Number one, we don't operate that way. We're not going to call you and tell you that you missed jury duty and you need to send X number of dollars to us.
Over in Clay County, Sheriff Eddie Scott is addressing a similar issue. His department took to Facebook recently to warn the public of fake callers that are using the department's phone number to threaten people with an arrest warrant.
But they're preying on people's fears, you know. The good, hard-working people, you know, they don't want to go to jail. They want to do the right thing, and when they get a phone call like this, it kind of shakes them a little bit.
Scott says no legitimate organization will ask for personal information over the phone.
Never, ever will we ask you for money on the phone. Never will they ask you to send us money. So that should be a cue right there for somebody that something is not right.
And if you happen to fall for one of these scams, there may not be much you can do about it.
Once you send that money in and you find out that you have been scammed, the probability of getting it back is pretty close to zero.
Both sheriffs say not to engage with any odd or questionable phone calls involving your personal information or money.
It's a scam. Hang up on them. Don't call them back. Certainly don't give them any information. Don't give them your bank account numbers and things like that.
Please notify us and let us know. We work very closely with the FBI, surrounding agencies, our state agencies, and we do our best to try to track these people down and recoup some of that money.
Well, according to a recent report by AARP, more than half of mobile phone calls this year have been scam calls.
The holiday weekend is upon us. Average weather for tomorrow, Thanksgiving Day. We stay dry on Friday. Now, we may see some storms around here again Saturday afternoon with some quiet weather on Sunday. So a little preview for you as we get into the weekend. There was the sun setting earlier in Columbus, our Alpha Insurance camera. A few clouds out there, but overall quiet here this afternoon. Down to 43 in Oxford right now, 50 in Tupelo, and 53 in Columbus. So chilly tonight relative to where we were last night, upper 30s for lows. I'm back with a full forecast coming up.
One Northeast Mississippi city will soon switch its water source after years of complaints about brown water from residents. Our Allie Martin tells us how the switch will impact customers of the Saltillo Water Department.
Nearly 2 years ago, Saltillo put all of its customers on well water. Before that, the city water supply had been split. Not long after the switch, customers on the west side of town began complaining about dirty and smelly water. After many meetings and several attempts to flush the system to remove sediment in the water and an independent study on the issue, aldermen voted to put the entire city on river water. Alderman Kopi Grantham says the switch will benefit everyone.
You'll always have good quality water. Another benefit is it gives us max capacity, so we can Saltillo will be able to grow and grow into the future.
Studies found the well water system was limited when it came to accommodating future growth.
If we were looking to a large manufacturing business or a housing industry come in 250 plus homes, that we would not have enough adequate water.
This meter pit is where the mechanics of the switch takes place. It starts with prep work Monday, and then the actual valves will be turned Tuesday morning, switching the entire city over from well water to river water.
Once we introduce the surface water into our system, there's going to be numerous changes. And we don't know exactly what changes all will be, but we do know that it's going to start removing deposits of iron and manganese in our system. And once it starts removing those deposits, they're going to come out in the system, and our customers are going to see that. It's going to be the brown and probably the oily and maybe some odor to go along with it.
But after those deposits of iron and manganese are gone, Jackson says the water should be clear for all customers on the system. In Saltillo, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Saltillo will purchase all of its water from the Northeast Mississippi Regional Water Supply District. Well, the Thanksgiving holiday brings food and family together, and throughout the weekend, thousands of people will be traveling to grandma's or other relatives to celebrate. So whether you're going on the road or if you're traveling by plane, officers and airline officials say they're noticing a high volume of travelers this Thanksgiving season. Executive Director of the Golden Triangle Regional Airport, Mike Hainsey, says travelers are booking flights by the dozens. If you're planning to hit the road, the Highway Patrol says they will have more troopers on the roads, keeping an eye out, making sure you have a safe holiday.
All week long, the flight's been running full. Delta actually added a couple flights on Saturday and Sunday for the returning students and the people that are just coming and going for the holidays.
Line patrol is what our administration likes for us to do, just to show a strong presence that we're out on the highways. And, you know, we do that every day, but we need a stronger presence during the holidays to make sure everyone's aware and hopefully, you know, driving safely.
Troopers will also be checking to see if you're buckled up, and they'll also be looking for impaired drivers. Volunteers from churches throughout Northeast Mississippi are preparing for an annual Thanksgiving Day outreach. Thursday morning, volunteers will gather at Tupelo's Harrisburg Baptist Church. They will prepare hundreds of traditional Thanksgiving lunches. Volunteers will then deliver those meals to area jails, also to the ICU waiting room at the hospital, to nursing homes, and then to shut-ins throughout the area. Pastor Clarence Parks began this outreach 30 years ago. He says it shows the true spirit of Thanksgiving. There we go.
Tangible way to show the love of Christ. I believe if Christ was here on Thanksgiving, he would be doing something like this. He would be feeding the hungry, preaching to the poor. He would be doing something to let the people know that he cares about them.
Volunteers will make about 900 meals on Thanksgiving morning. If you'd like to help out, just show up at 8 o'clock in the morning at Harrisburg Baptist Church in Tupelo. Well, for the past few years, Thanksgiving and the Egg Bowl have been connected, and some Starkville residents are changing up the game plan for that. Instead of being closed, many of them will be open to welcome family and fans tomorrow. Some restaurants will be serving a traditional Thanksgiving meal. Others say they will keep their normal menu. Jay Yates with the Veranda says when football is in town, their doors are open.
If we're playing at home on Thanksgiving, we're going to be open. There's no way I'm going to close the restaurant with all our fans coming in, and you know we're very connected to the program, to the Bulldogs. You know we bleed maroon and white, so we're going to take care of people and serve them some turkey and dressing.
Yates says he also expects crowds to start coming in tonight. All right, while some of you are getting ready for the turkey and dressing, others are getting ready for some big steals on Black Friday. We'll take a look at how local downtown shops are preparing when we come back.
You're watching WCBI's News at 6 with Andrea Self.
Welcome back, everyone. Before filling up on turkey and the trimmings tomorrow, dozens of folks stopped for tacos at a newly opened food truck in Columbus. This is the Taco Amigo Mexican food truck. It officially opened for business today. The truck has been a dream of the Mendoza family for years. They say they look forward to serving up tasty tacos and other Mexican cuisine from various locations around Columbus. The Mendozas started off selling their tacos at the farmers market. Well, big box retailers are not the only ones preparing for big crowds on Black Friday. Small businesses in local downtowns are getting their stores ready for a lot of foot traffic to officially kick off the holiday shopping season. Mira and Park Place Boutique on Main Street in Columbus are both offering great deals for their customers beginning this Friday. They say they hope shoppers will remember to support their hometown stores while checking off their lists.
I think it's very important to shop local because that money stays within your community. So I actually read something that for every $1 spent in a local small business, 67 cents stays within the community.
And both Park Place and Mira will be opening Thursday night. So they actually will start their deals Thursday night and they will open through Friday night for all of those customers. And people are hoping for good weather really starting tomorrow night because that's when the shopping starts, right?
Right now we have no impactful weather at all for Thanksgiving Day. Andrea, we'll check out that forecast right here. Let's check it out. You can see temperatures in the 50s and 60s around the region. And as we continue and talk about the holiday weekend for your Friday, no issues for those shoppers. But we do have some storms that are possible during the weekend. We'll talk about that.
Your WCBI First Alert Accuweather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Hard to believe, but Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Let's check things out. Meal prep time in the morning. We are in the 40s. Turkey goes into the oven 11 or noon. Into the lower 50s. Dinner time 2 or 3 in the mid to maybe upper 50s, and just in time for the egg bowl in the evening. Temperatures falling into the upper 40s. Let's talk about the egg bowl here. Clouds on the increase as we go throughout the course of the day. Overall quiet here. You can see temperatures will be in the 40s in Starkville, so jackets needed, but no rain gear expected or needed here. No rain expected. Now, last night we did see a couple of tornadoes in Mississippi, 2 southeast of Jackson, an EF1 and an EF2. That one near Star causing some damage there in southeastern Rankin County right there. So for the most part in our area, wind-driven showers, a little bit of thunder and lightning. No actual warnings last night in our coverage area, but we will have another system on Saturday that will also give rise to a chance for some strong showers and storms. Now, the system of yesterday moving away, the next upper low, look at that, very pronounced in the water vapor imagery. That's a very powerful storm system already. We have rain and snow breaking out across the southwest and California right there. A lot of energy back to our west. And look at all of these winter weather alerts at this time across a good chunk of the nation. No winter weather problems here for the southeast, and that's certainly good news. That's one less thing we have to worry about. The setting sun at Durham's Pharmacy in Vernon, Alabama today. Pretty nice out there for our Wednesday. Upper 30s for lows tonight. The wind is pretty light. And for tomorrow, low to mid 50s north, mid to upper 50s south. Maybe some additional, or maybe a lot of sunshine in the morning with some cloud cover filling back in as the day goes on. So we may squeeze in some sun, but over time, clouds will be thickening on up. You can see that action right there. Now, the better rain chances tomorrow just to our northwest. Same story on Friday, too, before that next system comes our way. Here's your Accuweather 70 forecast. 57 tomorrow, 63 for Friday. No weather worries for shopping. 71 there Saturday. We are looking at a chance for some very strong to maybe some severe storms there Saturday afternoon and evening, Andrea. Something we are definitely watching out for. After that, we have some quiet weather going into next week with much cooler temperatures.
Looks very nice next week for sure.
Cool and quiet. We like it.
Yes, we do. All right, the biggest week of the year, one more win away from the state championship. And you know the Little Egg Bowl will be front and center. More from Friday next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
One win away from playing for a state championship. Not only is this Friday the North Half Final, but 3 of those matchups are rematches from the regular season. There's no way to choose between them, so we'll feature all 3 as part of our final Game of the Week decision for the 2019 season. The first being the 6A North Half Final, the Little Egg Bowl rematch between Starkville and Oxford. The Big Egg Bowl and the Little Egg Bowl happening in the same week. The Yellow Jackets hoping to continue their reign in the rivalry. Starkville winners of 6 straight against the Chargers, including the 45-17 win in the regular season. And for part 2 of our Carl Hogan Toyota Game of the Week, the 3A North half final rematch between the Noxubee County Tigers and the Choctaw County Chargers. Choctaw County taking on Noxubee for only the 2nd time ever, and the first time being the 28-18 win in the regular season that ended up clinching the division. Choctaw County and first-year head coach Jeff Roberts looking to punch their first ever state championship trip, the first since the Choctaw County consolidation, while Noxubee County looks to clinch its 7th trip to a state championship in program history. And last but certainly not least, for the first time ever, Nanawaya and Noxpater will meet in the 1A North half final. The Cross Creek Rivalry rematch to decide a state championship appearance. The rivalry has been dominated by the Warriors of late. Nanawaya has won 7 straight, including a 14-2 regular season win that ended up clinching that division. Could be another defensive slugfest. We got Katie Carter versus Devin Turner and company. Noxpater looking for its first state title appearance since 2011. Nanawaya, they're still in the hunt to make it back-to-back state championships. So looking at all the North half finals for our area, 1 in every single class. 6A, Starkville, Oxford. 5A, Neshoba Central travels to West Point as the Green Wave look to make their 4th straight trip to a state championship. Greenwood and Corinth is 4A, Noxubee, Choctaw County 3A, Charleston and Northside in 2A, and then in 1A, you've got Noxpater and Nanawaya. It's going to be a heck of a Friday here for the end zone. And then coming up next week, those state championship games, here are your listings. Go to your local listings, your DVRs, wherever you want to watch. Look for the My Mississippi channel. That's where you'll be able to catch all of these games. 3A, 1A, and 6A playing on Friday. 4A, 2A, and 5A playing on Saturday. It's going to be a heck of a 2 weeks of high school football. How about this? Ole Miss was down 21 in the second half. It was almost to the point where you just turned the game off. It was 14 turnovers in the first half for the Rebels, and Ole Miss gets the win, 74-72, a heck of a comeback for the Rebels. Powered by Brean Tyree, 18 second half points in the win. We'll have highlights coming up at 10. Alabama unable to get it done against 6th-ranked North Carolina, 76-67. In the same tournament as Alabama and North Carolina, Southern Miss will take on Gonzaga. So we'll have an update on that coming up at 10 as well. But coming up in just 5 minutes or less here on WCBI Sports, tune in at 6:30 for our annual Egg Bowl special. Hear from the coaches, the players, analysis, everything you need to know about tomorrow's big game. We have it coming up at 6:30, so we hope you tune in.
And no matter what happens in these finals tomorrow or Friday night, it looks like you're going to have a busy championship weekend.
Regardless. Oh, yeah, plenty of area teams yet again competing for a gold ball.
Love it. All right, stay with us. We'll be back with a last look at the forecast.
You know what? We have a great Thanksgiving coming up tomorrow. We'll be in the 50s.
Prove it.
Huh?
Prove
it. Well, just live. live for tomorrow. You'll see it. Oh, prove it. Yeah, some of my graphics are kind of bogged down.
It's
okay. Thanksgiving week.
It is Thanksgiving
week.
We're
thinking about the ham and turkey for tomorrow.
And dressing. You're thinking stuffing, or you're thinking
no
stuffing
way.
and pumpkin pie.
Stuffing, pumpkin pie.
All right, I'll tell you what you should be thinking about in about 30 seconds is the Egg Bowl preview is coming up. Enjoy the rest of your evening.